All right, everybody, welcome back. This is the Mad Sawi coming to you with Gerard Khalil's response, and I'm going to do a too long didn't watch because it's a 20-minute thing. I watched all of it. I made sure to watch all of it, and I have some notes. Basically, he went through the whole process of saying, yes, at first they were a 501c3 private charity, but around 2016, they switched over to a 501c3 public charity. And everything was done on the up and up. Everything was done legally. They had legal counsel at the time. At 2014, according to what he has said in this, 2014, the IRS did audit them because they switched over from, in 2016, they switched over to being a public charity. So they audited the books before 2016 happened. So everything before that has been audited, according to him, at least 2014, according to what he has actually said, that everything was on the up and up, that there were clerical errors here and there, and all the money that was, raised was put into the account, and it was there, it was sitting there. He admitted that it was a mistake for him to just have it sit there for as long as it did, that it was a mistake for him to use the charitable organizations as, mention them when nothing was being given to them, mention the larger organizations that were helping him out. He's going to do better in the future, which is good. He accepted a lot of faults for his mishandling of the situation, the PR situation, not the funds and anything like that, because according to what he is saying himself, there is nothing going wrong with the funds. And I am, like I said, unless there's an audit that can prove one way or the other, then yeah, I'm going to say, okay, there was nothing done with the funds. But it did look very fishy. I'm going to say the exact same thing I said before. It looked very fishy. From what I saw, it wasn't malicious. What's called charity fraud. Charity fraud is a little bit different than actual fraud, because the charity fraud, at least the way that I saw it, was not assuming that he actually took the money. Like, at least the charity fraud, the way I saw it, was just incompetence from the people handling the money. Incompetence from maybe his legal staff, maybe the accountants that were managing the money. There was incompetence there. That's the way I saw it. I never saw it as malicious in the sense of, he's stealing money. I saw that there was money missing, especially from the Golf Foundation, since everything went to Open Hands once Open Hands was the foundation itself. It was proven there that all the checks need to be written to that. There seemed to have been some discrepancies in the money around, and that's what an audit will find. If the audit finds, oh, the discrepancies were just clerical and all the money that was supposed to be there is there, then, well, that's what an audit is for. An audit is for that type of situation. I hope I never came out across as saying that, as thinking that he took the money for himself. He's enriching himself. His family was doing some shit, and I don't know. I don't know if it's enriching. I don't know if it's not enriching. There's an allegedness of the enriching part. There's allegedly he was enriching himself. Only an audit will fully tell. And the thing is, things look fishy, my dude. They look very fishy, and that's what everyone is pointing out. I'm not going to call you a fraud yourself, but there was charitable fraud in the sense of nothing like the amount that you should have been giving every year, from what I understand, from my knowledge, from what I was able to get. I'm not a lawyer, of course, so take this with a grain of salt. This is all alleged, but from what I saw of charity fraud, you're supposed to be giving somewhere around 5 to 10% every year of something. They're supposed to be giving something, because charities aren't created to just amass money and then give large donations later on. Almost every charity that I have seen, that I have personally seen, they give money every year to something. Some foundation always gives money every year. Yes, they may amass millions in some cases, but some of the larger trustees and stuff like that, but they give money every year. Yours didn't. You waited 10 years. That's of course going to bring some red flags. Of course it's going to bring some questions about there. It's going to bring some questions on you. It's going to bring some questions on your organization. I think it's rightful that those questions come out. And if everyone was wrong, well, then everyone's freaking wrong. I'm not saying that you yourself are a cheat. I never said that you yourself are a cheat. I said that you've been doing some really, it seems really shady. So I may be contradicting myself a little bit, but all the alleged things, everything that was alleged that happened, it's very shady. Allegedly, it's very shady. Allegedly, there's a lot of shady shit going on because nothing's been audited. Like, what you should have done is you should have been like, all right, we're going to audit. We're going to get an independent auditor in here that it can be, all the books can be looked at as public charities should. And we're going to prove you guys wrong. All you assholes who've been saying this and this and that, we're going to prove you wrong. We're going to make sure that everything's proven wrong. That's the thing. That's just, things were not adding up. Of course, I'm not an accountant. I'm not a lawyer. So take this as you will, allegedly and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, things were weird. And I was just calling for an audit because that would clear you, dude. Honestly, an audit would fully freaking clear you. It seemed like you were just being quiet, and it's bad PR. Public opinion is a bitch. Public opinion is a really bad bitch. It's gonna hurt you one way or another. But I can see why he was angry. I can see why he was frustrated. Like, for example, what he's gonna say right here is can be frustrating. But yeah, he's angry, of course. I still stand by what I said, that he needs an audit. It needs to be audited, because that will shut everybody up. That will shut me up. That will shut Mutahar up. That'll shut everybody up. Everybody's just going to be like, holy shit, we were wrong. And yep, I will admit, if I'm wrong, if the freaking audits are out there done, then yeah, I'm wrong. I'll admit that. All right, let's hear what he's going to say for the last part.
Again, the Open Hand Foundation is a public charity.
It's a public charity.
The $600,000 that was donated did not incur any fees or is not subject to any tax penalties.
Of course.
Insinuate that the money was
missing. That's what charities are for. That's what 501c3s. You don't get taxed on it.
And that the penalties were to be applied, and that my family or myself had to float the missing funds is just not true. Also,
I don't think I ever said that.
The Open Hand Foundation has ever funded any of my projects for my company. I want to stress that not a dollar raised from Indieland and its supporters was ever used on anything to personally benefit me, my family, or any of our company.
I trust that. I trust that, because everything that gets put in there has to be accounted for in, like, that's why an audit's going to be good. Audit's going to be like, look, assholes, nothing happened. But until the audit happens, people are going to be asking questions. I'm just saying, the way that I saw it is that there was incompetence there. That's the way I'm seeing. The money, which probably in some account that isn't accounted for on your taxes. And that's where people are like, what the hell is going on? It should have been accounted for. That's the thing that people are questioning. I'm not saying you're using it for anything. I'm saying that 200K is still there. It's there, but where? Where is it? That's what I've always been saying. The 200K is still there. I know you didn't spend it, because then, the government would come after your ass and then you're really screwed. But where is it? That's what we want to know. That's the main thing. Let us know. Okay, it's in an account. It was just mismanaged in the sense that no one put it in towards the accounting of the tax returns. That's our mistake. We're going to amend the returns. Everything's going to get done. Poof. There you go. No malfeasance. I never thought there was going to be malfeasance. I just said there was some really, stuff seemed shady. Allegedly. Seemed really shady. Allegedly. So that's the thing.
We never touched this money nor ever moved it. As evidence in the public documents, no one at the foundation has ever drawn a salary. Saying that we are fraudsters, that what we are doing is illegal and constitutes charity fraud, that we are using my...
In the technical definition, it's not fraud as in like a large company defrauding their investors and taking all their money and then going on and running in with the wind. No, charity fraud in this case was just that you're not spending the money as you should. It's just sitting there. That's technically defrauding the people who gave money so it can be spent every year with that intent of being spent. It's not saying you're keeping the money and you're enriching yourself. It just means you didn't spend the money the way your charity said it was going to. It's a fraud in name only, I think, is the way it is. Maybe it's not. Maybe legally it's not. But in my mind, that's what it was. It was a fraud in name only, in the sense that you're defrauding the people who wanted it to be spent that year. That was it. Not that you're taking the money. It's just that you didn't spend the money the way you wanted. That, in that case, I guess, I don't know, fraud might be a hard word, but that's the only way I could consider it charity fraud, you know?
My dead mother's name to potentially embezzle money and steal is categorically false. I should have been more transparent about the money not being donated, and that's on me. But my family and
I don't know if anyone said you're actually stealing. I don't remember if anyone actually said you're stealing. Like, you're taking all the money, like you took the 600K and you just freaking spent it on a Lamborghini or something. No one ever said that. People were just saying, why didn't you spend the money where you said you were going to do it? You obviously could, because you just did it like, what, a week or so ago? A week or two ago? 2 weeks ago or so? You actually did it. You actually spent the money as you said you were going to. So you could have done that 10 years behind. Every single year you had around $100,000, which is a good amount of money, and you could have spent it. That's what we're saying. That's all that I was saying.
I have not done anything illegal, not before then and not since. And as mentioned previously, we have correspondence from the IRS to prove that. Furthermore, my family and I are in serious conversations with our legal teams regarding next steps, as the allegations that have been made with complete disregard for the truth of the matter. These allegations were made by...
It's just because of evidence that was out there. I don't think anyone actually said that you were like your family is something like $1 million richer because of this. I don't think anyone did say that. They were just saying there's some shady stuff going on. At least it seems shady until there was, like me, what I said, until there's an audit. Like, I'm not going to say that whether one way or the other. The audit's going to prove everything. I wanted you to get audited because I want it to be proven one way or the other. If the audit fully proves, hey, nothing was going wrong, then nothing went wrong.
Individuals who self-admittedly aren't even financial or legal professionals. These allegations are slanderous, and we believe we're done with selfish intent. They have directly jeopardized the safety of me, my staff, and my family, and that is not okay. I want to reiterate and specifically address that both the foundation and I have been accused of forgery, embezzlement, and charity fraud. The allegations imply the foundation forged tax returns because they weren't physical...
Well, I never said that. So,
on them when we e-filed them, or that we altered numbers to hide income or...
Because e-filing, I can do that by PIN number. I can use PIN number and I can just say, yeah, okay, this is me, and then I can e-file.
Expenses. We can account for every single dollar received and spent in the last 9 years. We do not have anything to hide. And due to the
Well, good. That means an audit's gonna come. Good.
Overwhelming amount of people who have been instructed to file complaints to the IRS and to
He sounds offended that people were instructed to file complaints. A complaint is just a complaint. It's not saying, hey, you're gonna get your thing taken away. It's just, hey, we have questions and we want the government, who's the one that's supposed to be overlooking all of this, to find out what the truth is. And when they find out what the truth is and you're, scot-free, then you're scot-free. That's it.
Department of Justice, we understand an audit may be coming and we welcome it. Our legal and financial teams have assured us that we have done nothing criminally wrong or illegal. Any possible issues in our paperwork can only be described as clerical errors and are easily amendable. Content creators and influencers should be held accountable when faced with serious allegations. However, the narrative can get taken so far away from the truth that the court of public opinion supersedes fact.
But here's the thing. The court of public opinion, none of us are responsible for what the court of public opinion thinks. We're just going to throw our opinions out there. Every single one of these things is opinion, of course. And it's not legal fact. It's all alleged. It's all allegations. That's all it is.
I recognize and take accountability for all of my actions. At the
And
same
you've had
time,
some bad
I am not
actions.
going to let my reputation be compromised by allegations that are not true. I own up to my part in this, but I will not be painted as someone who is a con artist and embezzler. I won't be someone whose name gets tarnished without putting up a fight. I owe it to my friends, my family, and myself to stand up to this situation right now.
And that's good. I mean, do it. Do what you got to do.
I want to leave you all with how the Open Hand Foundation got its name. My mom always had this saying that she and my dad would share with each other. An open hand is always full, meaning the more you give, the more you will receive.
And that's true for a lot of parts.
This has been imbued in my entire life and how I've lived. And if you followed my journey, you would know that's all I ever tried to do for my friends, my family, and all I ever wanted to do was to share my legacy and give. Thank you all for listening, and I'll see you all very soon.
All we're saying here, at least all I'm saying, is that there were mistakes made. Mistakes made in the accounting, mistakes made in the way things were publicly put out there or not put out there. There were mistakes made. And good thing that he owned up to every single one of them. It seemed like he did, but it seemed like he blamed people a little too much, which I guess, defensive, when you're defensive, that's how it's going to be. But in my opinion, the way I've always seen this is there were questions that need answers, and the audit will answer those questions. And that's what we should be waiting for. And that's what I'm going to be waiting for. And that's why I put in the complaints. I put in the complaint because I want them to get audited, because that way you'll see one way or the other that all the books are good, and maybe there were some clerical errors here and there and miscommunications here and there, which can be pretty bad in the court of public opinion. No one else is to blame but yourself, Jaleel. You stayed around for 2 weeks without saying anything while all these things were being said about you. And it was because you were lawyering up, which I guess is the right way to do it. And now you're throwing allegations out to other people, and that's just going to be a lot of back and forth. So I'll just leave it with that. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Love each and every one of you. Like and subscribe and let me know down below what you think. Thank you so much. This is Mad Salvi saying bye-bye.